did Selena Gomez transition from this to this, and no one seemed to notice or mind? Selena Gomez had one of the most flawlessly smooth transitions from kid friendly entertainment to entertainment with more adult themes as she got older, which isn't always the easiest thing to accomplish for child stars. It's actually really difficult for child stars to do this, and that's why you see a lot of stories of child stars growing up and going down the wrong path in their adulthood. But that hasn't been the case for Selena. Selena has been open and honest about mental health struggles like bipolar disorder and depression, but her career has never actually taken a hit from some sort of aggressively toxic scandal. I'm an independent pop culture journalist, and I've spent 7 years writing and researching professional entertainment articles for iHeartRadio, Rap TV, official Netflix synopses, and several other outlets. And right now, I want to share my 2 cents on how Selena Gomez was able to make such a smooth transition from being a child star to being an adult celebrity who is respected and taken seriously in the entertainment industry. Like most child stars who are graduating from Disney Channel or Nickelodeon, Selena was obviously also interested in scrubbing away her squeaky clean Disney Channel image, which is probably the biggest and most obvious reason why she agreed to star in a movie like Spring Breakers. The movie premiered in 2012, which was the same year that her Disney Channel show Wizards of Waverly Place was coming to an end with its final season. That is not a coincidence. But I'm going to dive more into the depths of how important Spring Breakers was on the trajectory of Selena's career path a little later on in this video. I also want to talk about some of the music she decided to start releasing as she moved forward in scrubbing away her squeaky clean Disney Channel image. While she was part of the band Selena Gomez and the Scene, which formed in 2008, she was signed to Disney's Hollywood Records, releasing kid-friendly songs like Who Says, Tell Me Something I Don't Know, and Naturally. Obviously, her music started touching on more adult themes after she left the record label that was owned by Disney and signed on to Interscope Records. I'm about to talk more about the changes to her music regarding sexier lyrics and music videos as well, but right now I'm just shining a light on the most crucial answer to the question of how she could transition from this to this. And it's the obvious fact that Selena desired to stop being perceived as the innocent little girl from Disney Channel as she started getting older. This is something everyone should be able to understand. No one wants to be stuck being thought of as a little kid forever. Selena played her cards right and was able to create such a smooth transition for herself. So let's talk about Spring Breakers, since it's the movie that stirred up the most chaos, started the most conversations, and brought in the most backlash for Selena when she agreed to star in it. Because yes, there were many fans who were completely outraged that Selena Gomez went straight from playing Alex Russo to partying in a bikini in an R-rated film. But as much as people might have wanted to be pissed off or frustrated at Selena's decision to film a movie like Spring Breakers, actually watching the movie in its entirety caused many fans to shift their perspective entirely. And that's because Selena's performance in the movies was so incredibly impressive. Her role in the movie was thought-provoking and relatable to a lot of young people who are struggling with things like peer pressure, trying to fit in with friends who might be bad influences, and wanting to live a fun and fulfilling life where you know deep down that you aren't wasting your youth. Although some people might criticize the overall premise of Spring Breakers, one thing nearly all critics can agree on is that Selena's performance in the movie was absolutely golden. She showed up and showed out, which in my opinion is partly why it was so easy for people to become more forgiving and comfortable with her decision to film that movie as she transitioned from kid-friendly entertainment to adult-themed entertainment. Her performance in the movie was described as artistic growth because she played a character named Faith who was grappling with her own moral dilemma. She was in the middle of racy, dirty, provocative, gritty chaos. The character she played shed light on the trials and tribulations of moral ambiguity, trying to fit in when you're young, ethical scrutiny, self-reflection, and introspective questioning. It actually goes way deeper than you might have thought at first glance if you haven't watched or rewatched that movie anytime recently. There are actual layers of depth to that movie, which is why critics respected Selena's performance in the film. And in my opinion, it's why she wasn't slammed so terribly by fans who were genuinely shocked that she agreed to star in that movie of all movies, fresh off the heels of her Disney Channel stardom. And just like Jennifer's Body starring Megan Fox, Spring Breakers is now considered a cult classic. Jennifer's Body was bashed by some critics when it first premiered, but years later, it has officially become a cult classic, and the same can be said about Spring Breakers. And on that note, we can talk about Selena's sexiest song releases and the fact that they are undeniably good. You literally can't argue against the fact that some of Selena's best songs have a hypersexual message to them, yet they're still revered and respected by music lovers everywhere. Selena's transition from kid-friendly entertainment to more adult-themed projects worked out well for her because many of the songs that she's agreed to record over the years are just undeniably that good. Inarguably good. Many of the songs she recorded that pushed the boundaries of being super edgy and sexy were so good when they were originally released that it's damn near impossible for people to be angry at her over them or hold a grudge against her for inappropriate content. I'm talking about songs like Hands to Myself, Fetish, Come and Get It, Good for You, Body Heat. I'm not gonna lie, Selena was on her grown woman with some of these lyrics. In Hands to Myself, she sings, "Come on and give me a taste of what it's like to be next to you. Won't let one drop go to waste." In Good For You, she sings, "Let me show you how proud I am to be yours. Leave this dress a mess on the floor." In Body Heat, she sings, "Like a diamond, I need a little pressure. So press me down till I scream." And don't even get me started on the music videos for these songs. Because based on some of the things I've seen on Reddit from the grossest dudes in the world, Selena's music videos are considered spank bank material. So take with that what you will. But regardless of confessions like that from random perverts on the internet, one thing you have to acknowledge is that these songs are just incredibly good. They're catchy, they're fun, they make you want to listen from start to finish, they make you want to dance in your car. This is the type of song you love hearing in the background while shopping for new clothes. Selena agreed to record music that maybe only adults should be listening to, but it's not like she was dropping trashy songs that didn't actually sound good. I want to add that Selena herself has admitted that she doesn't even think she has the best, most powerful singing voice ever, but the songs that she's agreed to sing have been perfect for her vocal range, and they're the reason that she's taken home a Billboard Music Award, an MTV Music Video Award, an iHeartRadio Music Award, and much more than that. Selena definitely went in an adult direction with her music choices as she got older, but the trajectory of her path was so perfectly smooth. There's no way we can ignore or deny the Miley Cyrus distraction. Selena was distancing herself from her Disney Channel image at the same exact time that Miley Cyrus was, which served in Selena's favor because people were way more distracted by what Miley was doing in comparison to Selena. Miley went through a huge transformation to shed her Disney persona when she released her Bangers album in 2013, including Wrecking Ball, where she literally swung on a wrecking ball without any clothes on. That was the same album that she released We Can't Stop as a single, which is still considered one of the best party songs of this generation. And she also released Adore You as a single on that album, in which she was giving hardcore bedroom energy throughout the entire music video. That was also the time frame when her raunchy performance with Robin Thicke on stage at the VMAs became globally infamous. It sparked major controversy and started cultural conversations about how far is too far. Miley chopped off her long brown hair, bleached it blonde, and she was twerking at every chance she got. While all this was happening, Selena was also doing her best to move beyond her Disney Channel image, but with the widespread distraction of Miley's antics, Selena was sort of skating by without snagging as many negative headlines or attention. Another reason for Selena's smooth transition from this to this is that she blended in many neutral middle ground projects that catered to both a kid-friendly audience and an adult audience. Over the years, Selena never fully abandoned her fans who are under the age of 18, just because she herself has gotten older. We know that because Wizards of Waverly Place ended in 2012, but since then, she's been a voice actress in the Hotel Transylvania animated movie franchise, and she starred in other projects that cater to viewers of all ages, including A Rainy Day in New York with Timothée Chalamet, The Fundamentals of Caring with Paul Rudd, Selena Plus Chef, which is her reality TV cooking show, and Only Murders in the Building with Martin Short and Steve Martin. Only Murders specifically has been the ideal project for Selena as a neutral middle ground show to star in, since it attracts viewers from almost every generation from Gen Z to boomers, and many of her songs have been on that same wavelength. You won't just catch super sexy songs like Fetish or Hands to Myself from Selena. She's also released songs like Calm Down, Ice Cream, Love On, and many of the tracks from her new joint album with Benny Blanco that aren't just reserved for an audience of adult listeners. Her neutral middle ground shows, movies, and music has certainly been a positive move in her transition from this to this, in my opinion. Another reason I think her transition has been so smooth is that her real life struggles have thoroughly showcased her level of maturity. Selena was dealing with a very adult level of stress during her 10-year off and on relationship with her ex-boyfriend Justin Bieber. She admittedly needed to check into mental health facilities to get through those struggles amid all of that chaos because she was going through a really hard time. 2014 is when she checked into a facility called Dawn at the Meadows in Arizona. In 2016, she checked into a Tennessee facility for anxiety, depression, and panic attacks. And in 2018, she entered treatment again following her breakup with Justin Bieber. Kids who are in La La Land without facing any real heartbreak or adversity don't understand the struggles or pain of depression and anxiety and real life adult struggles. In real time and in real life, Selena was facing some very real and adult heartache, which is why I believe fans were more comfortable embracing her as she grew up and started taking on more mature roles in her career, releasing more mature music in her career. The fact that Selena has always been super open, honest, and vulnerable about what she's been through and what she goes through is a huge piece of this puzzle. Things that were happening in Selena's real life allowed the world to start viewing her as a more mature and emotionally aware young woman, which allowed people to become more accepting of the decisions that she's made in her career as well. Selena has been brutally honest about what it's felt like for her growing up in front of the lights and cameras and becoming a woman in front of a world of people that always heavily scrutinizes her. She opened up about her time filming Spring Breakers during an interview with Elle, saying, "I was only 18 or 19. It was the first thing I did right after my Disney show, and it was such a crazy detour. That's when I knew I was going to fall in love with filmmakers and really gritty, fun stuff that was a little too graphic. I know that people will judge my involvement in the movie as a whole, and I'm prepared to accept that." She went on to describe Spring Breakers as a project she was proud of despite its uniqueness. When Today interviewed her right after the movie premiered in theaters, they asked her about it, and she said, "It was completely liberating. Up until this film, everything I've been part of definitely has been a bit more processed. I feel like I did grow up shooting this. This is the first movie I shot by myself without my mom coming. It was the first time I got to improvise as much as I have." Selena admitted that she knew people would judge her for starring in the movie, but she did it anyway because it was the right thing for her and her career. She revealed that starring in that movie specifically helped her feel like she was growing up. It allowed her to embody self growth. Along with Wizards of Waverly Place, Selena's earlier kid friendly roles on Barney and Friends, Another Cinderella Story, Ramona and Beezus, Spy Kids 3D, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and Princess Protection Program really shaped the public perception of who she was as a young starlet. But as years have progressed, she has reclaimed her identity to prove that who she is in the entertainment industry goes beyond the projects that she starred in when she was still just a little girl. Thank you for watching.